Here we go. The third 5-game set in these finals, if you will. We're going to keep going now. We have 11 teams on match point. NRG, the newest contender to enter that field.
Yeah, and I believe we also find ourselves with the Sentinels clearly with an opportunity sitting on the top half as well after their pointage. Like the fact that NRG has actually made it here, and we were talking about, I guess I bring it there because the playstyle of aggression from Sentinels, but left to be desired early on. I'm excited to see what we get from NRG now, and if somehow they can play it different.
Sorry, I stand corrected. I correct myself. Sentinels in there as well,
yeah,
as NRG.
To be honest, at this point with this many hours, I wasn't sure if I had that wrong there, but I'm glad we got it figured out here. Two new squads, Sentinels, NRG. Let's get game number 11, match 11 here underway.
Here we go. $500,000 still yet to be distributed tonight. We are at 11:20 local time. And we are jumping straight in. Over 6 hours of finals so far. It's a marathon for these teams. Only one can win it, and they need to win on a game win. NRG going where you expect them here, to the western side of Bunker.
Going with the traditional split whenever they feel comfortable. Ace going to be the one who checks if anybody's on the backside of this thing. And always safest to make sure your Wraith is the one to risk that positioning, just based on the fact that only one who can comfortably make it out.
Shout out to the Observer team, not only for that Pathfinder beacon find, but also the fact that you guys have been going just as hard as everyone here at the event.
Even more so, man. They have to take in everyone's perspective at every point in time.
Watching 60 screens in the back every single game, hour after hour. Huge shout out and appreciation to the entire Observer team. Also the analysis desk, the command center, Jump and Rain, and of course every single player in these booths, because this has been, as they said, a test of not only their limits, but also every single aspect of this tournament gameplay.
Sentinels looking good here with their Thunderdome drop. Got to be wondering, based off the circle that we got from NRG, it was a little bit of a glimpse. It looked maybe weighted center and a northern half.
Got a glimpse at Retzi rubbing his eyes here.
Got to focus, man.
Has been playing so long today. Keep in mind, Sentinels did come in from the winner's bracket, so they played 4 less matches than those teams that are in here from the loser's bracket. Now Penta, once again, they've been on match point game after game after game. They're looking good in way of armor, and they want to close it out here, but they've also got a lot of company, 10 other teams with them on match point. We talked about it during the break, during that quick dinner break for you and I. There is a physical max to how many matches can be played, in case you're wondering. Now, it's up for debate what day it will be, what hour of the morning that might be, but certainly a max. But it will require quite a few victories and high performances from the lower sides in order to get to that point where we have a true final game. I'm not going to say anything more about that so we don't jinx that opportunity.
21, I'll jinx it, is the maximum capability.
I'm getting thumbs up from every single production person in the room for not continuing the thought.
Rogue here, having better opportunity than I feel like we've seen from them in the past couple of games. They have been, I mean, it's been tragic. And I don't mean that in terms of their play, but just more the circumstances they've been dealt over and over again after having the most lethal losers final coming into this with a double win. One, I think now sample size of 5 who've been able to get that back-to-back victories.
And you also have to think with every single match, as you take a look at the standings here on the right side of the screen, more and more teams will come in and join the top of that table. Kick now, a little bit of shield guarding. It's FlyQuest who's pushing in. They lost Monsoon. Now trying to win a battle up here northwest at Slums. Shots coming in on the path. Broken. Might go ahead and try to push that. Instead going to door guarding. Yes, indeed. Perfect timing there. Going to try to zip up, get up to the roof real quick.
It's a great opportunity there, an understanding to jam the door the second he looks away. Free opportunity for those shots. Focus fire coming in together, but Kick here, question if they can get a res, throw down the Watson trap. Thermite going to deter them. See the door break there, forcing actually Nighties into the second one, but that's going to be Lou drop in here. Zach, the last man for FlyQuest.
See if he can stay alive. FlyQuest once again, the bottom of the table broken. Shield so, and a great little pop from the wingman as well. Really close to that, and that will be FlyQuest taken down at the hand of Kick Esports. Kick all the way down to the bottom of the table with only 23 points. A big win for them as they will try to join the top of the group. Checking in with third impact here. They're in 14th with 42 points. A good performance here would put them on match point as well. And MVP is 1 point away from match point. They would join their South Korean counterparts, Wyvern, in the match point status as well, with any sort of performance here. 1 elimination or any placement, 15th place or higher. Great block those shots there.
Yeah.
Down player.
And this is actually the home
that's
of
how
MVP
you, That's how you
past.
can tell that it's 11:26 p.m. because I thought that those were great shots as the player is not moving at all here. Skull Piercer up.
I think you need to pull a Retzi here real quick.
Might have to give the Retzi eye rub a try.
This is a very common strategy we've seen at this caliber of Apex Legends, though. Anybody who wants to make a wetlands transition towards the center of the map has to deal with whoever owns 2 spines. Most of the time, that's been MVP, but it seems like, honestly, since they had that 1 victory, they haven't been as prone to making the transition towards that area.
And look at Navi in trouble. Misfits as well. Lucido here.
Another roster that has had that near kind of tragic result, but not having near as many points there as we saw from Rogue. Still quite outside our threshold for the 50 points. Moose, though, taking some shots, going to be forced to grapple back. Na'Vi looks like they're the ones striking, looking to get a push. Claws throwing out a couple of shots. I don't think we're going to have Misfit standing much longer. Devotion just poking. Double 2 points of pressure. There's going to be 1. And there's
almost 2. There we go. Second one does come in. No turbo on that, so he did have to pre-fire to do that much damage. Gets that 1 knock and also some help for the second. Does Na'Vi.
The fact that Navi's already down a member. Ooh, and look at this. 789. I was talking about last game, it felt like that was one of the few times we checked into them in the early stages, and it looked very good when it came to the loop, but this is, you know, if that was good, this is great, would be the best way to lay that one out here, but Wyvern not too shabby themselves either.
And it's interesting circumstances here because we're getting updates from the command center that Succubus, we saw Misfits, and also FlyQuest are down, so that's 3 teams not at the top of the table that are eliminated and wiped here.
One of our top teams here. First to make it into that match point, bringing back Impulse, the most lethal player, at least into the last round in the entirety of the finals.
And that will also mean there's only 6 teams that are not on match point left in the lobby and 11 teams that are. Could this be the one, Dread?
It feels like it. But you know what? I don't really care if it is. I'm enjoying myself. So we'll find out if it continues onward here. A team with a bit more success here over the loot avenue is going to be that of CLG, taking some shots. No Cocoa Puff backing out, looking to heal. Interesting choice to go with a syringe there. Penta just kind of hanging out here. And supply ship actually dropping next to them. We do know 789 was making a rotation towards the northern half of Swamps. They have 1:50. Oh my. As we take a look at that secondary circle, just to the western side of Wetlands. And so did you see the pings on both sides of that wall? That wall is the divide. We've seen this circle before. We've seen this end game before. If you win one half of that, you can choke out the other as long as you can maintain the high ground. I believe it is the eastern side that has the high ground advantage over that of west. I'll be able to clarify that as we do move in through rounds about 4, 5, and 6.
Gambit here getting cozy. See if we can jump some team comms in the mid game here once teams have to make some moves in just a bit to see, first of all, what's on their mind, but also just how they're holding up in the booth as well.
Absolutely here. First, we got to look at Sentinels trying to take this cage fight, though, and that's really Zom's going to get knocked up on top. Retzi forcing already is into the void. He's going to go ahead and get this low ground kick. One of the few teams not with our match point situation here. Only Knightsy's left. He's getting pinched from 2 different angles. Sentinels going to send that one back to the lobby and continue onward here.
We just got an update that there have been 567 kills in the finals so far. 567.
Absolutely ridiculous.
On that topic, we'll also take a moment to check in with the Apex Predator totals. Looks like still 9 Impulse, Imperial House, Selly, and Claws. Right around the same score in the 20s trying to fight for that title. Once again, $8,000 cash prize for that, but these teams are not thinking about that. They are focused on taking this tournament.
Wyvern, they're struggling with their initiation into VP at first. It's going to lead into a knock into one, but it's actually 2 versus 2 there. The grapple comes out. That's going to be PJ trying to take that. That's a long one from the hip. It's 2 of them there to get that knock, but not. It's a 1 versus 1. Going to eat a full Peacekeeper, and Wyvern live on.
More unfortunate circumstances from Virtus Pro. Looking at where they left, they were on 47 points. Did not get a look at how many kills any of them played, but because they exited at 16th, I believe, unless it was 15th, it would be either 0 or 1 placement points.
We're going to check in here with the comms of Sentinels as they track down what looks like Wyvern.
Same crack, Wyvern,
Don't let him res, don't let him res.
Walk in, study key.
Behind the rock, on me. Falling.
There's some, nice.
Fighting compound. Take that or no?
I need sniper stack.
First thing, I'm grabbing the litter. Okay. We have zone on beacon, like over here.
We should go here.
Alright, let's play that then.
Or we can just grab.
We still have zone on our hill. They're fighting in that building.
Let's go this way.
I need sniper stack.
Are they?
It's Navi G2. You want to just walk up, try and get a pick. Don't even push.
Oh, we have zone.
I think he poured it in the sewer. He just poured it out. Alright, what do you want to play?
G2 now only have 1 member left alive here. It's cool to be able to hear some of the glance of Sentinel. Bit pressured there when it came to the comms. Na'Vi being one of those teams that was pressured. Low HP here. Nice open there. That's going to be G2 Mimu down. I believe 1 person left as Na'Vi's looking to break and enter here into their territory.
Great.
That's G2, I think, out here, no longer with us.
It's a great push there from Na'Vi, and of course they're also going to see that.
I don't know who was that final kill. You heard the noise come through, but it's not G2. Still hold their own here. 0-0. With basically 0 and nothing, at least when it comes to the HP bars.
Staying alive here needs to be very careful. A chance that his opponents might have also heard that heal. Looks like that is not the case just yet, as he may have gotten away and will try to fight through this. Penta's still here as well.
All right, so I want to highlight again that kind of area here as we see the circle in the wetlands. Also, it should be noted that 2 Spines is going to have a massive advantage, whoever remained up on top of that. I forgot who he glanced at there earlier. Sentinels making their rotation back, maybe going to put focus into that as Gambit, trying to stop the retreat there. But basically, find a way to be able to control 1/2 of those walls. And you're going to find yourself an upper hand. And again, that's 2 Spines is going to be very concerning. Here's Wyvern recovering from the battle they had once before. Make their way into round number 3.
That respawn timeout on Karen Pay, but we've seen some amazing individual plays out of the Wyvern side. Not crazy to think that they could try to make a run at the late game. And that's what they're going to need to try to do here. Cannot say enough about the resilience and the, wherewithal just for these players to continue playing at this level after this many hours of play.
Soar with the devotion. Look at that ammo count. 400 in the energy economy.
Let that thing rip.
Yeah, and it's going to. It's got about everything you could hope for except for a stock. That it could be 1 tier better. So things looking good there on the devotion front for Soar, but one of the teams that are still, though they are in our top 13 in this game, they are not past that 50-point threshold.
Look at this spot here also for Gamers Origin, way up top.
Going to be very good towards that wall. And again, you saw them zoning off towards wetlands. And honestly, I feel like, I don't want to say that they're so far ahead that it's their game to lose, but right now, armor-wise, positionally speaking, over the next circle, everything here for Gamers Origin is primed here for this game to possibly walk away with it. Again, they are in that match point zone.
Very different story for 0-0, who has to rely on the foliage to keep him alive for the rest of this game, as he'll have to fight solo. Checking in with the Na'Vi squad as they continue to move around this northwestern part of the ever-closing ring.
Oh my. So you see it breaks down to where 2 Spines is no longer, I believe, going to be available for that next circle. Gamers Origin will have to make a decision to get down from that. And when they do, they need to move through such a tight section that I feel like it's going to force them to use the Wraith Portal. You could say, well, Dread, they can go elsewhere. Well, I'd like to highlight all the shots going around Gambit, which would be in that rotation here as we see TSM trying to find their way upward. They could use the staircase here for some defensive capabilities, especially if Reps wants to drop that generator, but Gambit maybe not not going to let them here as they're quick on their heels.
Making the move. You hear shots coming through. But right now, going to also just push straight up. Portal up as well. Potentially get them right inside and under, but instead going to push all the way into Wetlands.
This is bold. What is he going to find when he gets on the backside of that?
Bold indeed. Did not have a ton of information about what could be on the opposite side of that Wetlands wall, but it looks like that portal will be placed.
Not pressured, at least quite yet. Notice how this portal actually exists in both sides of the circle, trying to figure out which side of it is going to be more forgiving than maybe the other. No armor available for two of the targets. Actually, Wyvern getting pressured.
Now going to have to try to stay alive is Selly. And this could be tough for the Wyvern side. Popping a Phoenix kit, but back on board with Sentinels. We'll get that revive. And Na'Vi still in the air. Shield's broken.
That's a
now going to push in as well. Grapples right up and challenges there. Good shots there with that 99. But look at that in the corner. Soar pushing back. That's going to be a trade.
That was a really good shot trade there, but Na'Vi actually losing themselves. Impulse Class is the last member standing for Na'Vi. The devotion! Remain committed, but it's not enough. Moppers gonna go ahead and bring up RPR here. And things look good for Soar.
Thanks for that.
Double revive coming in for them. Soar is a team that's on 39 points, as if you needed more teams to add to the list of what we're tracking here of teams that could be on match point next game. Checking in with Gamers Origin, and they are still up top.
I was incorrect. I thought Two Spines was far enough out here, but no. Still grand positioning here for Gamers Origin. Rogue, though, down one. Look at them.
Huskers and dropped both on white armor. You got to think Sentinels, it took them quite a while to get into our match point territory, but now that they're here, are they going to capitalize? Can they ride the momentum of the performance we just saw? They won that game number 10, and is that all they needed now to close out the tournament?
Gamma Gaming, meanwhile, only 2 rounds ago, managed to make it to match point, and they had a pretty early exit in our last game. Have to be thankful that they feel like they have a second shot at that champion banner here. Look at Sentinels, though. Get very aggressive here towards this top section. They want to make sure they win this and they make the rotation out. 1 minute and 13, so that's going to happen. Good opener there. Swaps over to the P2020. Not going to connect.
See if they drop down here. Senox does get knocked. Playing against the door. Reti and Zombs need to work together here. They can't afford to go down. Too many teams on match points still left in the game.
Yeah, they have an opportunity to shoot through those little cracks if they would like to. They're very concerned about whoever's on the lower section of this, but I can't help but feel like if they do that, they're going to risk their positioning elsewhere, so much so that it's probably not going to be worth here. Soar, one of the few teams looking at Sentinels there.
RPR just exchanging wingman shots, spamming into that high ground, making sure no one pokes. Now over to Selly, talking with teammates about what do we do here. I'm on white armor, I'm a solo, and there's 12 squads left. They'll have some time to strategize, decide how they can sneak through, but it's not going to be easy. Third impact also set up. Zombs and Retzi still working together on this rooftop, wondering how and when they want to go into Wetlands. They're going to have to get that zip ready.
Oh my. I want to talk about how and when. It's our Bush friend here, 0-0, still with a bit of a dream though. Has to make his way into the circle. Circle is closing. Everybody's going to be forced here together as we got 11 squads, but it's not going to be all 11 when this thing collapses. Portal taken now for RPR, taking a glance at a different angle as we lose Sentinels from this round.
And in about 10 seconds, things are going to start to get really thin. And TSM still fighting here from low ground at Wetlands.
Albert Laley, the only with purple armor. He might want to look for a zip up at the... Oh, not up to the dish, just out of the zone here. Thermite prepping MVP to be shieldless, but it looks like they have enough to be able to shield up. 10 squads now left remaining. They find themselves one.
Let's see if MVP can do it. Just Raz and Mondo left. Peeking a bit. Has to pop the cell. It's only Raz left now. Look at this. Hal goes down.
Albert Laley's alive though. Rep's doing his best there with the flatline. Swaps over to the 301. Keep in mind he's got 25-31 in total when it comes to the ammunition. Ends up taking the zip, now putting him out of position. Questioning, is Imperial Hal going to get res? It seems like Albert Laley turns back for that. Alka from the high ground, the ones threatening him.
And look at MVP, they're back in it. All 3 players back up.
Third impact, the one sitting inside this house. questioning if they can move up, maybe deal with MVP in the positioning that they have.
0-0. Has moved a bit, as you see, he's relocated. No longer in the wooded area, but now shots coming on Huskers. Only player alive for Rogue, and he is in a tough spot. He will go down. Rogue will be out. 8 squads left.
MVP, though they are here, looking good, posturing up very, very well. They're again not at match point, have no opportunity to become a champion here quite yet. Success in this game is likely enough to put them above that, but TSM, a team who is in that position, Armor looking good, defending this low ground. You can tell that they knew this circle was going to be here, and they were prepped and ready to deal with this endgame. TSM looks like they're ready to win this preseason invitational, but who can deny them? Gamer Origin also looking good if they can make a transition in.
Let's see exactly what I wasn't sure if those Arc Stars might have gone down to that position that TSM does have.
Gambit as well.
Desperately trying to stay alive here, and it's not looking good for them. Can Artico stay alive on the Wasanel? No. Gambit will go down as well. Take the 3 squads left here.
Yeah, but TSM is one of the ones alive, and they are almost at the win condition. They got to find the other 2 targets to be able to rid of them. Reps will be able to heal up. They do have that low ground, and the movement has to happen in 1 minute and 17. You see MVP now trying to take this fight. That's going to be an opportunity for TSM, the third party here. We'll question whether or not they do that. Is both sitting above both that of TSM.
MVP not on match point here. TSM, of course, on match point. We've known that for a long time. We'll find out exactly who this third squad is as well. Still should be G2, I believe.
It's Gamers Origin. So we do have 2 teams who have an opportunity to be able to win this. TSM and Gamers Origin. Who will walk away with the victory here, or does MVP push us into game number 12?
Huddled up. Look at that. MP goes down. MVP making the push. Ross has to queue out.
This is an opportunity for TSM.
Let's see here. Now TSM might push in. They get 1 break. They have to pull back. They go down to the low ground again. Going to have to re-shield back up. They pop a bat.
We see Albralele push to that high ground. Already Gamers Origin still without a member. But then Albralele gets punished.
Hal and Reps need to be careful here.
They're reviving too. They're also reviving.
They see the double res, so they think they have enough opportunity. Albralele is back with us.
On me.
Oh, but he's going to go down.
They get dropped on now. It's all to Reps and Hal. Can they stay alive here? They get some shots, but they don't get the knock. Going for the revive again.
The only way to be able to get up to that high ground is Albralele, though. They can't get up to that roof easily here as MVP seems to be denying everybody. Gamers Origin on the backside of the wall, and MVP with all 3 members alive. They're going to cripple TSM. Can somehow Gamers Origin come around this corner and actually clean up after that point?
And such a mind game here with all 3 teams, of course, having the opportunity to third party. Who will engage first? Who will have to move first? Is this going to close in 10 seconds?
Gamers Origin or TSM? Who will be your champions? Portal out here for TSM. 5 seconds and counting. Bravo. Let's do this.
Here we go. This could be it. 2 teams on match point here. MVP pushing in. Can they get this first knock? Doesn't come in. Ross has to stay alive. Very low HP for the Wraith.
Very early iframe, so that's going to be a big setback there, but MVP is not the one we're worried about. They're just a setback here for TSM. Who is going to do it? TSM are your champion.
It took them a while to get to match point, but in the end, they win back-to-back Apex Legends tournaments. Your X Games winners and your winners of the Apex Legends Preseason Invitational.
One of the most respected teams in the Apex Legends community, and understandably so. Every time they are put to a test, they rise to the top of the occasion. They do not falter whenever the pressure is on the line. Yes, maybe win condition not available right out the gates for them, but they hold strong, they hold on.
About TSM being a team that has to prove that they are the best in the world. Have they done it here?
Absolutely. No one can doubt who is your best. No team has done better, whether it be Ones, Imperial Hal, whether it be X Games, that's going to go to them as well. And now with the top 80 teams from all around the world, only
What, like game after game, and we started improving like literally game after game. We started, getting more points, and we just, I don't know, I'm a loss of words. Like our start was horrible. Like I don't even understand how we even came back from what we started with.
Alberlelli, you had to step up for your team on multiple occasions. There were very seldom times where TSM had a full 3 members alive, yet every time that was the case, you guys walked around with that victory. How was your shot calling with your other 2 teammates able to clutch those situations out?
Our positioning was all on Jordan and Hal. I just called when we should engage on fights, and I don't know, man. I got no words.
Reps, I stood next to you at the X Games in Minneapolis, Minnesota, with your arm around my waist, the same way that you're doing it right now, or hip, waist, whatever you want to call it. You told me when I asked you, what are you going to do over the next month to prepare? And the only thing you told me was, do it the TSM way. You've done it the TSM way. What do you think?
2-time back-to-back.
All right. I don't need any words. You don't need any action. TSM have done it, and they've done it well. Gentlemen, Reps, Imperial Hal, Alberlelli, I now declare you the Apex Legends Preseason Invitational Champion, and that trophy, it's all yours.
Seven North American teams entered, 8 from Western Europe, 3 from Eastern Europe or CIS, and 2 from Asia, but ultimately on top of the mountain remains TSM. 3 letters that mean dominance, personify excellence, and TSM, led by Reps, of course, with Alberlelli and Imperial Hal, on his birthday weekend in Alberlelli, they do it again. Back-to-back champions, TSM. Wow. What a finish. What a day. And what action. We just saw the first ever time we've seen this format. TSM struggled early. They recognized it. They adapt. They clutch up when it matters the most. And they are the best team in the world still.
We saw just a few matches ago, Imperial Hal had victory snatched away from his hands, but now they were able to close it out and finish off this weekend strong, taking home yet again another victory.
Not even taking into consideration that Alberlelli is sick. I don't know if you guys saw it, but in that last game, he actually had an ice pack strapped across his forehead, and they were still able to pull out an impressive win.
Crazy performance, channeling his inner MJ here as Alberlelli, the 19-year-old from the Northeast in the United States, Connecticut, New Jersey area. Huge performance from all of TSM, and you see that interview, you hear Bill ask great questions and saying, hey, you said you're going to do it the TSM way. What does that mean to you? All he says, Reps, is back to back. That is the TSM way. You have no idea how much these 3 love playing for this organization, love repping those 3 letters, and boy, do they rep well. TSM took a major risk on this team, on these 3. Yes, they performed well online, but they didn't have any experience prior to this. The TSM scouting proves to be supreme again, and they are your preseason invitational champions.
And I love seeing this. This is the Apex Legends community. Look at the camaraderie. CLG right behind them, congratulating them. We've got Exco, I believe. He was playing with Quasar. They're also in good spirits with him. So many players here put it all on the line, and they had to give it up. TSM showed up.
I couldn't honestly be any happier for them. They deserve everything they have. They fought tooth and nail in probably one of the longest finals that they have ever played in. The win is very, very well deserved, but so is the entire experience for everyone that played in finals. Everyone busted their butts all weekend to get where they are today, and it resulted in an amazing final matchup.
As you can see on screen, TSMs are your champions of the arena. However, 80 teams entered. It's crazy to think, but just 2 days ago, we had so many teams competing here, invited for their chance for $500,000. One came out on top. We are, of course, still awaiting the standings to see where everyone else will sit in the total prize pool, but you got to think TSM's on top of the world right now.
TSM is on top of the world, but of course, people that have their crosshairs on them for the next tournament, Na'Vi, are looking at them. They are going to want revenge for this because Na'Vi had a stellar performance all day long, along with the likes of Wyvern. Both teams cresting at about 100 points by the end of this entire duration.
Not only Wyvern, but also MVP. We watched them struggle for a massive chunk of the first half of those games, but once they were finally able to turn it around, they put so much pressure on the teams that we kept thinking we're going to pull the win out, and it was just game after game getting shut down by MVP. Good job on them.
And of course, they were just a few kills and maybe a few decisions away from actually forcing a match number 12. Instead, TSM clutches up when it matters. Guess what? I just got word the standings are there. You said Na'Vi, they were 3 points behind TSM. Obviously, wouldn't have mattered, but TSM do it not only by winning the last game, but also being on top in the points category as well. Wyvern right behind with 91 points, followed by Gamers Origin and 789. So, when it's all said and done, North America 1, Na'Vi and Eastern Europe 2, Korea and Wyvern 3. 3 regions, top 3 teams, and just like that, we are set up perfectly for the Apex Legends esports season, where details were shared today. Wow.
This is absolutely insane. How does the math work out like that? Not only do they get the victory, they are also number 1 in points. So, unequivocally, TSM are the best.
Drop the mic, walk off the stage. That's
I'm
all
out.
Jamerson is saying. Well, it was close. A lot of teams had an opportunity to close it out. TSM was one of those opportunities in match number 7 or 8. Of course, that was Imperial Hal in that 1 versus 1 against Gamers Origin, which is a team I have to pay my homage to as well. Placing, I think, 4th or 5th, representing France. They represented very well. So in total, we saw, I think, 5 or 6 different countries represented in the top 5 alone. It's just crazy to think.
Also, we have to build a lot more hype around some of the teams that weren't signed and still had an amazing journey here during the Apex Preseason Invitational. You know what? You've been talking about them all weekend long. I'm going to give the duties to you.
I appreciate that, brother. My sincere endorsement goes out to any orgs out there. I'm sure quite a few are ringing on the phones of 789 as they had an unbelievable show, putting on a show for every single one of us. It started on Friday by winning their winners bracket round 1 outright. They did it again in winners round 2. They did it again in winners bracket round 3, aka the finals, but they could not close it out here in the championship final. However, this is just the beginning for this very young, very new, very talented Team 789 roster from Russia.
Heads turning left and right, left and right. People are looking at them. You got to slide into those DMs right now. Right now.
Get it started. Get it started. Glitter, any thoughts?
Not only is it a good start for 789, but it's a fantastic start for the Apex competitive community as a whole. This just truly illustrated the type of talent you can really bring together at an event when you reach globally. It's not about just big regions here and there. We saw amazing performances from areas that we don't typically think of when you're trying to pull massive, for massive competitive events. I'm so proud of them. I'm proud of 789. I'm proud of Wyvern and MVP. And there were so many EU orgs that were regionally based EU orgs that showed up and played out. This was just fantastic.
That's incredibly true. 5 out of 7 continents represented here, including Australia. Of course, 33 plus countries and nationalities represented. And again, this is just a preseason invitational. It's been a theme all weekend long, but I'll tell you right now how exciting that was, how great the matches were, the players, the personalities, the community binding together. Of course, led by EA and the competitive gaming team of Ghostiami, Shaheen, John Nelson. I think the future is bright for competitive Apex. The future is now.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with that anymore.
Yeah. excited for that future. Of course, what was announced, in case you did miss it, some high-level information, it will be a global affair. It's teams from all around the world. Stars will be made from around the world was the direct kind of statement there. Of course, online and offline competitions. You could expect some more majors like this, and how could you not? I mean, after this event, the storylines, the magic, I mean, you have to keep it going.
I'm so excited. We've also got 2 weeks from now, TwitchCon going to happen, Twitch Rivals. We're going to see a lot of these names up there, so I'm super excited that we're going to be able to keep this competition going.
That's true. Yeah, I'll be at TwitchCon. Glitter, you'll be there as well. Jamerson?
Come and hang out with us?
Gotta make it.
Maybe.
Gotta make it at this point.
All right. You talked me into it. Oh,
it was that easy. I didn't really have to
wrench my arm
like
there.
This guy,
yeah,
honestly. Yeah, clearly. TwitchCon in a few weeks as well. And of course, as announcements start to trickle in, we'll understand more details of the Apex Legends esports season coming up soon. Of course, competitive gaming and Apex really become synonymous at this point.
You're not wrong. I'm ready for it. Are you ready? Are you ready for more 7-hour-long finals? Because this was intense.
It didn't go to 20 matches, like I said. Thankfully.
Somewhere in between, though.
Somewhere in between, you're right. Between the 8 you predicted, the 6 or 7 you predicted, and the 20 I predicted. Crazy. Absolutely crazy finish. I'm ready for so much more. The format was beautiful. And listen, I'm no statistician. I did get an A in stats in college. However, the chances of that happening have to be incredibly slim for a team to not close it out there. I mean, honestly, I think fate was on our side a little bit to tell this story, to really kick off the Apex Legends esports pro season.
It was honestly so close. MVP might have been able to put a stop to it. But again, TSM and Gamers Origin right there at the end. Oh, that was such an exciting finish. Such an exciting finish.
I want to pay some respect to some of the other teams that were represented this weekend, of course, in the final especially. North America was 7 teams, like I said. Western Europe with 8. North America had Rogue, TSM, Misfits, FlyQuest, Sentinels, NRG, and CLG. A sincere thank you to each and every one of those organizations for supporting Apex, supporting these players, allowing them to live out their dream. TSM reigns supreme for now, but who knows who will continue with their dominance here in Apex. TSM, I know it means the world to be able to hoist that trophy on behalf of that roster. For Reps, he was a huge fan. A lot of respect for him. Your future is bright, Reps. Keep on going. Stay humble, because, man, you are an entertainer. That's for sure. Of course, on the Western European side, we had Penta, Gamers Origin, Soar, Third Impact, Virtus Pro, Kick Esports, and Succubus. And then lastly, in CIS Eastern Europe, 789, Navi, and Gambit. Asia holding it down as well. MVP and Wyvern made it to the Apex final.
Also, by the way, Wyvern not signed, I believe. So, hey, Korean Org.
Another shout out.
You know, come on. Hit up your boys.
We're actually getting a chance here to look at some of the replays from that final match. We actually didn't get to see some of this up on the stream anyway, so this is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Kick, honestly, weren't able to get me that bingo. They were that last
Was that the last one you needed?
I needed for my bingo. But you know what? Great effort by them. Great effort by them. Honestly, to be able to make it all the way through the winner's bracket, honestly, a team, another one of those orgs, that like just had a very fun playstyle to watch, especially yesterday.
It really actually ended up playing well into this type of playstyle that we were seeing coming out of the likes of MVP and Wyvern. I feel like there were, even a couple moments where teams like Navi really decided to go very aggressive.
Yeah, it was great to see, honestly. There were so many, at the beginning of the day, remember, when we started the final, it was actually Sentinels who were playing a very aggressive style, and that was a nice change of pace that we were expecting. We were wondering, actually, how many teams are going to play aggressive, how many teams are going to try and go for the placements, and I loved it, that Sentinels were living up to their kind of like bad boy demeanor, we're the ones that are going to push every fight, take the 50-50s. Guess what? It's actually a 70-30 in our favor.
Yeah, but I want to talk about this last play here. We haven't talked a lot of gameplay because obviously we have a winner, but a few decisions away. Gamers Origin doesn't go for the resurrection or the revive, and MVP doesn't push TSM. You wonder if MVP drops on TSM as they had one knocked, if things could have been different. However, shoulda, woulda, couldas can exist. What does exist is one winner, and that is TSM. Great job from them. Raz, Aka, and Mondo doing everything that they can on their end, but look who closed it out. Of course, TSM doing it.
I honestly love the sequence of how this is happening because we see Gamers Origin, we see MVP, and now we get to see TSM in the final moments, closing it out.
And that's the ice pack on Alberlelli's head that I was talking about, because he is not feeling well and was still able to play like that.
Is that really a
I
mismatch?
might have to adopt that
It
look.
was like a cold towel to keep his fever down because the man is playing with a fever right now.
I thought he was going for like a Nick Berkster and Ninja headband situation there, but no, he literally is keeping his fever down. That is insane. Absolutely insane. I love the hype. I love the passion from these three. They do it again. One from Florida, one from Seattle, and one from Northeast, aka Connecticut. Really touching almost every point of the map there, every corner of the U.S., but what matters the most is they are here in Poland. They're ready to celebrate, and they are the champions. Congratulations again. You see the reaction from TSM on stage, and wow, what a weekend it was. I have to say, it was an honor, an absolute honor. It meant the absolute world to be able to host the desk alongside these two, Jet Set Jamerson, Glitter Explosion. You guys were absolutely amazing. I can't wait to give you a big hug after this. The Apex is here. Thank you all so much for watching, for supporting, and wow, thank you to the players for putting on a show. That's going to be it for us at the desk. We're closing out on our end. However, we have the Apex Predator. We also have Jump on stage with the winners to talk a little bit more about it and close out the show. Thank you so much, guys. Fallout, signing out.
It's not just one Apex Predator. If you thought that having ourselves a 6.5 hour plus grand finals, then of course you have to make sure to highlight the ones that fragged out better than anybody else. And ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves with a 3-way tie for the Apex Predator, sharing that $8,000. We've got 2 members from Na'Vi, we've got Claws and 9 Impulse, and then of course we have Wyvern's Selly standing on stage. I want to ask you guys the first question. You came into this and absolutely demolished throughout the course of the grand finals. You might not have picked up a win, but what's it like sharing the stage with one of your teammates for Apex Predator?
Let me say, so for me it's very warm feeling since I had a really tough decision to quit Quake for a bit, and I had to put some trust in my team, and I trusted that we're gonna achieve huge results with them. So I'm very proud of my team. It's a very warm feeling for me, and I hope we're gonna keep it up.
What about you?
Каково это со мной быть лучшим?
I just saw Klaus is doing frags, so I had to do more. And so I was trying to kill and steal everyone. He was damaging them, I was denying, like a real teammate. He was doing like 100 damage, I was doing like 20, and this was my frag.
Hey, friendly competition, that's what it matters about. Now, Selly, for you and your team came into this as one of the hottest international teams. You might not have won, but you also share the stage for Apex Predator. What's that feel like to you?
다른 칸한 친구와 같이 서 있는 느낌이 어때요?
일단 스크림을 2주 동안밖에 하지 않았는데 그 짧은 시간 동안 아카, 카론프 같은 이런 좋은 팀원들 만나서 기대치 못한 성적 거둬서 정말 기분이 좋네요.
Well, he has a great feeling about playing with other strong players. Apart from that they only trained for 2 weeks. Yeah, this is a great experience for them.
Trained for 2 weeks, excelled. Trained for more, excelled. Every team here excelled at the Apex Legends Preseason Invitational. 240 players from 31 different countries found themselves here at Alvernia Planet, and only one team walked away with the win, TSM. It's been a fantastic last 3 days of competition from myself, the casters, the command center, the analyst desk, all of the production staff, EA and Respawn. It has been a fantastic time. For that, I thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, until we find ourselves in Kings Canyon again, I bid you goodbye.